I vividly remember the stories that you used to share about selling PCs in Coimbatore for Wipro at the very beginning of your career. And it's amazing, from there to where you are today, from Coimbatore to Singapore, and you have seen the entire transformation of the industry, from desktop PCs to the entire Microsoft stack to cloud and SaaS. So along with this evolution of the industry, the sales function has also evolved. It has fundamentally changed, right? For example, back in our days, we used to sell licenses, and that was the entity or the unit of sales. Basically selling license and closing a deal on number of licenses was the metric that we used to track. But now with cloud and SaaS, the metrics have changed, the industry has changed. But how do you think the sales function has caught up with this change and the evolution?
Beautiful, beautiful question, Johnny. In fact, there are a number of perspectives here. The first change that we need to be careful about is the fact that customers are far more informed. They have far more information. And given the proliferation of technology, they have far more potential within the system. Which means if you are a salesperson who is working with customers, you need to understand the industry, you need to understand the organization, you need to understand the role and the individual. That goes without saying. But primarily, what you need to focus on is predominantly around differentiation, Johnny. There is a saying, if I'm not different, I deserve to be commoditized. So very clearly, if you're going ahead and engaging with customers, you need to come across as being differentiated. Because it is only in your personal differentiation that your customer will see your organizational differentiation. That's the key. So how are you providing a distinct, differentiated, and memorable customer experience is for point number one, correct? Which means you're able to understand business, etc. The second thing that is happening is that as we moved over from PCs, client server to cloud and everything else, is what we call as the transfer of risk. Previously, the risk used to be on the customer that they need to deploy, that they need to get the benefit. Right now, the risk is with the seller. If the customer doesn't consume, that's it, you don't have business. So very clearly, what this transfer of risk means is that every seller needs to move away from thinking transactionally to thinking lifetime. So it is all about customer lifetime value. So it's no longer about deployment, it's all about consumption. So very clearly, the lenses is not looking at the transaction, the lenses is starting to look across multiple horizons. The third last change that I'm seeing is primarily the fact that you cannot solve for world hunger alone, right? So what salespeople need to learn are two things, which is predominantly to say, hey, how can I team better? And how can I work with the ecosystem better? So it's almost like a Wi-Fi signal. The salesperson is in the middle, at the bottom of the dot, but then they're looking at what is the team, what is the ecosystem, how do we serve the customer? And if that divergence doesn't happen, if that ability to transmit value doesn't happen right through, right, your customers are not going to be successful, and therefore you are not going to be successful. So if you're looking at traits for, the trends and traits, what I'm seeing those three different things. One is predominantly the transfer of the ability to differentiate. The second is your ability to think lifetime. And the third is to team and deliver on the ecosystem, Johnny. Those are the fundamental changes that I'm able to see.
Fantastic. Back in the days of boxes and licenses, whether it was Microsoft or Oracle or SAP, they sold the box, the license, and didn't go back to the customer for next 3 years till the next version came. But now it's very different. You sell services and you get your revenue based on their consumption. So it is an ongoing relationship and the value that you need to deliver. Very well put.